And I wouldn't say I'm shocked, cause I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride. This one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife. Could've left 1,000 times just about my side. This one's for the grind. I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind. To the videos, they thought I was a black guy. It's hard to get over. I'm foreigner in the sport, but I'm fully devoted. I don't take it for granted that the door's been open. I knew I was different. I knew I was chosen. A breadwinner, but I'm soft-spoken. Authentic like a 5950, and there's no cap. Let's have a toast to that. Let's have a toast.
Good morning. It is day 5, the final day of the CrossFit Games. It is raining. I unfortunately just got here and the first event just ended. I was rain delayed too. The Lyft driver apologized to me because there were so little lifts and he was so far away. It took him a half hour to get to me. So it's been a complicated morning. But event 1 was supposed to be sled pushes, kettlebell clean and jerks, and rope climbs. Because of the weather and the weather delay and how wet it is out here, they ended up scrapping the rope climbs, and I think that may have changed just how this event actually played out. Khrennikov won on the men's side, and I think if the rope climb was in there, not that he can't rope climb, he can, but he's a bigger athlete, and I think that would have really impacted his ability to do well on the event, or at least win the event. But because they ended up cutting those out, it allowed him to grab another 100 points. Also significant on the men's side for the future is they also announced that Roman got a P1 visa and will be able to stay in the United States for the next 5 years. So the men's field better watch out. On the women's side, Tia didn't have a great finish, but I don't think it matters because she had a little bit of padding and the people right behind her finished even worse. Mal O'Brien finished worse. Emma Lawson finished much worse. So I don't think she's going to be in too tight of a position, but it keeps it a little bit more competitive. Laura Horvath won that, and again, I think because of those rope climbs being eliminated, it really helped her. Now, she has great grip strength, would have been okay on the rope climbs, but I think she's just a heavier athlete, and that would have impacted her as well. And just grunt work, she's great at. So for some athletes, the athletes that won this event, I think that taking out those rope climbs were significant. Now we're gonna head inside. The teams are about to get started. I also had to go get a new press credential because mine ripped off this morning while getting dressed. So it's been a morning. My lens just immediately fogged up
First half of this again
because of the rain and the humidity. I was hoping to buy while I was here is grips, and it's day 5 and I haven't even checked for them yet, so I'm gonna try to head into the vendor pavilion and see if I can find some. I did manage to get the grips. They had my size. I've never had them before. They're extra long women's, and we'll see how they work. So the final event is this Jackie Pro. It's basically a beefed up version of the Jackie workout that so many of us have already done. I think the time cap for men is 10 minutes. The time cap for women is 11. I think there are people out there that have regular Jackie times that are longer than that. So it's going to be super impressive to see them do the 1,000-meter row. And then they're going to be doing the thrusters at 65-95 instead of 35-45. And then instead of pull-ups, they're going to be doing bar muscle-ups. I think it's a pretty cool workout to end on. I like it. I think it's going to be fun to watch. And it's going to be visual because they're going to go down the floor. Taking a look at the leaderboard before the final heat of the last event, and it looks like the podium is already set. Laurel Horvath won both events today. She wasn't even in the podium talk, both the previous events. She wasn't even in the podium talk before that. Now it looks like she is very, very likely to end up third. Looks like Mal's likely to be out of reach by Laura, and very unlikely to fall off the podium, and Tia likely to win it all, but we'll have to see. I think, though, our podium is set.
I'm watching the rise, and I wouldn't say I'm shocked because I'm hardly surprised. This one's for the ride, this one's for who knew I'd make it, just needed some time. This one's for my wife, could've left 1,000 times just about my side. This one's for the grind, I knew it would happen, just had the strength in my mind. To the videos, I thought I was a black guy. It's hard to get over. I'm foreigner in this world, but I'm fully devoted. I don't take it for granted that the door's been open. I knew I was different, I knew I was chosen. A breadwinner, but I'm soft-spoken. All authentic like a 59-50 and there's no cap. Let's have a toast to that. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Let's have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the real. Let's have a toast for the real ones. Have a toast for the
Will you come back one more time, or is this the end? That's the question. We'll see.
Up the score, I pull up from Trey. From the tray, I'm ballin' like Trey. Do what I can, I do what you can't. I wrote this 30,000 feet up, 10 toes stay G'd up. I'm tryna get that type of wealth like a house on the hills, can't see us. Say the money still me up, stay humble, stay teed up.
CrossFit Games champion, Tia-Clair.
Did she get a picture with you?
Ricky, how does it feel to be so successful in your first year back at the Games?
It's amazing. Bit speechless, so it hasn't really sunk in yet, but it's just so grateful that I stuck it out and stayed resilient and patient, and all the tough times I went through and all the hard days in the gym, and working full time and personal things like everyone has in life. Just stoked.
Are you planning to come back next year and win the whole thing?
Yeah, that's the plan. I'll be here for years to come, till my body gives up.
Cool, thank you.
Talking all about it, I really got it. Young guy, trust guy, I be like, what's up, guy? I was down so bad, I took those L's, I was like, what, guy? Now I'm up on my way to the bank, I'm laughing, ha, ha. Now I'm up on Billy, and thinking hit a ride, ride. Okay, moment I feel it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the Sunday Championship Press Conference of the 2022 No-Bill CrossFit Games.
Hello, guys. Очень рад всех видеть. Очень большие эмоции меня переполняют, что я наконец-то здесь, как будто какой-то большой сон. Ну, сон стал явью, и я здесь, и еще буду радовать вас своими выступлениями в следующие года.
Very excited to be with you finally here in Madison, and he's promising you're going to see him again and again. He has a lot of emotions going through his mind right now. Thank you for having him.
Yeah, man, just want to say thanks, you guys, man. It was an awesome weekend. I mean, there was a lot of ups and downs throughout the whole thing, but, man, it feels good to have your guys' support all the way through. So, yeah, thanks, you guys.
Yeah, you know, I'm just so excited and grateful to obviously be able to do what I love in front of such an incredible crowd, and you know, to go up against such incredible athletes as well. It's a true honor.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for all your support. It's only I'm still so new to this, and it just means so much to have you guys support me and congratulate me on how hard I work. So thank you.
12 years of doing this, and it was just as fun as the first, and I appreciate these guys giving us the push that we needed there, so appreciate that. It was fun. Good times.
First off, congratulations to everyone. JB, Boz, great job. This question's for Tia. Tia, you announced your retirement. Or is it a retirement, or are you...
Well, technically, I didn't announce my retirement.
Correct.
But we'll see. You know, there's a bit of a trend going around, announcing your retirement and then coming back. But I'll just keep you guys guessing.
All right, sounds good. And Rich, for you.
I plead the fifth. Yeah, same thing. You know, I just want to enjoy this with the team, with my family, and in a couple weeks, you know, we'll get... It's always every year. As a team, I'm probably done with team, but who knows if I'm still competing somewhere else. We'll see.
Okay. And I'm assuming, Mal, you're not going to retire?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. All right. Again, congratulations.
definitely has been the hardest preparation for CrossFit Games for a Roman here, and many athletes might not know this, but this was 2-3 days before the games. His baby arrived with his wife. A week before the games, he was running around the stores buying baby cribs and diapers and spoons and forks. It was extremely hard because as a man, he was doing it for the first time alone without his wife, but he really wanted them to come here and be comfortable. So for him, it wasn't a chore, and actually gave him a distraction, and he didn't care about the competition. He only cared about holding his baby for the first time since he was born in April. He hasn't seen his wife since March.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Amy from Clydesdale Media. This is for Boz or Justin. For the first time this year, we saw you name 2 Rookies of the Year. What led to that decision?
I think it's really important that in our sport we've done things right from the beginning. So we've always awarded equal prize money. We've always awarded equal media opportunities. We're one of the few sports where the men and women race against each other. So we've had many events of that nature. So it just kind of struck us as wrong that we have a male rookie and a female rookie when we don't need to choose. This is another opportunity to highlight more athletes, and there's certainly deserving young athletes that are male and female each year. And this will be part of how we acknowledge the upper class or the younger class going forward.
This is your first games as a programmer. Apart from the rope climb this morning, did everything work out as you imagined? And if you could do anything different looking back, hindsight 2020, what would that be?
Well, having the power of God and changing the weather a little bit would be great. But beyond that, no, it went off really well. I was holding my breath the whole time. There's lots of things that can go wrong, and it's just a testament to doing your homework. We spent a lot of time crafting these events, and I lost a lot of sleep making sure that they were right. So I'm glad that they came off well in the end, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. So thank you.
Let's go. Пусть не переживает, если бы были канаты, я бы все равно его выиграл.
Boz, Roman wants you to know, even if the rope climbs were there, he would have still won it. So.
The first title, now you got the second one, a bigger target on your back. What do you do to prepare for that third? Especially with athletes like Roman, Ricky, the whole field just seems like they're getting better and better.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a dogfight. But yeah, the whole field's getting better and better. But that's the same for me. I got the best team around me, family to support me. Like it's gonna be all good, and just keep focusing on me. And I know, like, when I'm giving it my best, like that's gonna be enough.
Tia, you started the games this week in unfamiliar territory. I think after the first day you were in 8th place, and you were looking up at 2 teens in first and second, Mal being one and Emma being the other. What's it like being the present of the games, but also looking up at the future of what the games hold?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's competition. Some things don't go your way, and I made some big mistakes that cost me. But, I've always been a big believer that our sport could be just the most known in the world, it's growing and trending that way, and to be able to see and have young athletes that we do, like Mal, come into our sport at such a young age, they're growing up wanting to be CrossFit Games athletes. They're not just growing up to be Olympians like I was. And that's just so exciting for someone that wants, my legacy to live on. And, in order for every single person around here to benefit from that, we need young kids like Mal, just feeling that passion and getting amongst that health and fitness. And, CrossFit is such a unique sport that allows, like, anyone and everyone can do that and participate in that. And then to just have, our youngsters, coming in, like, it's just so inspiring, and it's just so awesome to see. And, I just wish them all the best, for the future to come. They all seem like they are in good hands with the teams around them, and that's just even better and more comforting to know that they're going to be healthy, they're going to be fit, and they're going to be be ready for any test that the team at CrossFit, you know, throw their way every year. So it's super exciting, and for me, I absolutely love it, especially as a competitor. You know, I want to be challenged, and you know, I definitely get that every single year from all of the competitors. So that's definitely something that I really appreciate, and you know, I thrive, and I absolutely loved it, every single moment of it.
So 7 months ago, I set a goal to be the youngest to ever podium at the games. So being able to complete that, I mean, is just like unreal. I don't have words for that. And I mean, we're still like, I'm still so new to this and everything. So there's still so much time in front of me, and just being able to compete and be pushed to my limit like this year and every year, it's just so exciting for the future. And I'm being able to improve in just a short 6 months under Matt and everything. I can't wait to see what next year and the years ahead hold.
Questions for Rich. I don't know how much you got to see of the individual programming, but what you did see, how would you grade that programming, or was there anything in particular that you wish like, man, I would do that. I would love to do that.
Yeah, they're definitely the bike. We got to do that with the teams. I'll speak from the team side. I enjoyed everything, minus this 4-person synchro double, and it was just tough. It was hard to get in synchronization, but from a team standpoint, we were just talking about this. I thought the events were incredible, a ton of fun. I need to go back and watch individuals more to give you a real assessment on that, but you know, from 30,000 foot, they look pretty cool. Some of them were interesting, but I really liked the team event. So good job, boss.
Thanks, man.
I think that wraps it up today. I want to thank all of our athletes for being here, all of our winners and runners-up. This has been an amazing event, and we'll see you next year.
All right, made it back to Northern California, back here in this backyard. I just wanted to wrap up this video by talking a little bit about just how awesome the CrossFit Games experience was as media. This is my first time covering it as media. I've been there before, so I know a little bit about what the games are like as a fan, as a volunteer, but this is my first time as media, and it was exhausting. I'm gonna put just how much sleep I got right here so you can take a look at what that looks like. I was busy, I was running back and forth. I got a ton of steps each day. I checked up my watch. I didn't get any time to work out, but still got all that movement in, so that was good. I think that this year's CrossFit Games it felt really exciting if you were in the environment. Like being there, it just felt different than last year's games. I think last year we were still coming out of COVID. There still wasn't as many people there to see the games as there was this year. And this year just felt like the community came together and they were very excited to see all these athletes throw down. And I'm excited about what's to come next after this. We had a really exciting games. I think that it was very well programmed. There was a lot of questions about what the programming was going to look like with Boz doing it instead of Dave Castro, and it was different. It was definitely different, and there were some things in the moment that I was a little bit nervous about, that sandbag event being the #1 thing, because I think all of us are so used to seeing a heavy barbell for the lift, and for it to be a heavy sandbag, I've talked to many people who said they just weren't sure if that was going to play out well, and it was awesome. It was one of the best events I've gotten to sit through. So I am excited for what's to come next year. I think it'll be interesting for the athletes to prepare for a test that's more like Boz's test than it's like Dave Castro's test. I think it's gonna be exciting to see what the open workouts look like, because last year Boz did not write the open workouts. They were, I believe, slightly modified Dave Castro workouts. So for the whole community, there's some new programming coming in just a few months. And I think that's going to be a really cool thing to get to experience. I think at the end of the weekend, the podium looks a lot like what many of us expected it to look like. Pat Vellner not being on the men's side was a little bit surprising, but the men who are there, in my opinion, are not. I think those 3 men are all very, very good. And I think I'm gonna talk more about that in another video, so you're gonna wanna check that out. But the women's side, I think a lot of people had Tia, Mal, and Laura Horvath on the podium. Maybe not in the exact order they're in. Tia, of course, on top. Laura and Mal, some people may have switched. But it ended up being what we expected. And I think from a programming perspective, that shows us that the programming was true to CrossFit. Even if people felt like it was different at times, it ended up with the same people we would have expected with Dave's programming. And I think that says a lot about Boz's programming, a lot about how fit the athletes are overall. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens if Tia retires. Maybe she won't. I like that she's keeping us in suspense. I think it's a lot of fun. It adds some fun for the off season when there's not a lot going on, to be wondering what's going to happen with that. I made a whole video about whether or not Tia and Rich are going to retire and what they've said so far. If you want to check that out, you can see that up here. They could tell us whatever they want to tell us if they're going to retire. I just think that we all love to speculate, and it's just a fun talking point. But I did see something recently where Brooke posted something on a video of Tia saying, let's get back to training for number 7. So who knows what's going to happen. It's going to stay exciting for sure. Other than that, I don't want to make this too long because this video is already pretty long. What I will say is I appreciate so many more people subscribing over my games time. There's a lot more videos to come here on this channel. I like to do vlogs of my training because I think it's fun to see some non-games athlete level training that we can all relate to a little bit more. So you'll have a lot of that. I'm gonna go to some other CrossFit competitions, maybe some that I'll do, some that I will just cover, and also feature some awesome things happening here in Northern California in the CrossFit space. And there are a lot of them. There's a lot of awesome people here. CrossFit was sort of born in this area, and there's just so much of it still here, and I want to show you what is here. So make sure you subscribe for all of that, and I appreciate all of you who've subscribed already and all of you who have watched so far. I'll see you in the next one.